Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're diving into a legal battle that might just reshape the future of tech as we know it. Yep, it's the Department of Justice versus Google, and at stake are two of Google's crown jewels, Chrome and Android. This isn't just another court case, it's a showdown that could change how big tech operates forever. So grab your popcorn because we're unpacking everything from what's happening, why it matters, and what it could mean for you, the everyday user. And stick around until the end. I want to hear your thoughts on whether Google should be forced to sell off its browser and operating system. Let's get started. All right, let's rewind to October 2020. The DOJ decided it was time to tackle Google, accusing the tech giant of monopolizing the search engine market and squashing competition. Fast forward to 2023, and Judge Amit Mehta agreed. Google's search dominance wasn't just a lucky break, it was strategic. And not in the good way. How dominant, you ask? Google commands 89% of the search engine market in the US. That's right, nearly 9 out of 10 searches in the US go through Google. Talk about being the teacher's pet of search engines. But this isn't Google's first run-in with antitrust laws. Remember the EU fines? In 2017 and 2019, Google got slapped with billions in penalties for stifling competition. So, yeah, Google's been in hot water before. This case, however, is bigger. It's happening in the US, and the DOJ isn't pulling any punches. Now, what's the DOJ's plan to tackle Google? Oh, they're thinking big. First up, Chrome. The DOJ wants Google to sell off its Chrome browser. Why? Because Chrome is Google's golden ticket to keeping you hooked into its ecosystem. From search to ads, Chrome funnels everything back to Google. By splitting it off, the DOJ hopes to level the playing field for competitors like Firefox and Microsoft Edge. But wait, there's more. They're also eyeing Android. That's right. The DOJ might push Google to divest Android, its operating system used by billions worldwide. This move could stop Google from using Android to sideline rival search engines and apps. Imagine an Android phone where Bing is the default search engine. Wild, right? And that's not all. The DOJ is also targeting Google's exclusive contracts. You know, those deals where Google pays Apple billions to make its search engine the default on Safari? Yeah, those might be history if the DOJ gets its way. Now here's a twist. This could also impact Google's AI ambitions. Chrome and Android play huge roles in how Google integrates its AI tools like Bard and Google Assistant. If they're forced to sell, it might slow down Google's AI dominance. Of course, Google isn't taking this lying down. Their legal team, led by Kent Walker, has been hitting back hard. Walker's argument? These changes would be bad for consumers. He claims that splitting up Chrome or Android wouldn't actually reduce Google's search dominance. Why? Because people would still choose Google, he says. After all, it's not Google's fault they're popular, right? Walker also argues that these changes could harm innovation. He paints a doomsday scenario where divestitures slow down product updates, increase costs, and create confusion for users. So, in Google's eyes, it's not just their profits on the line, it's your user experience too. Implications for consumers, developers, and competitors. Okay, let's talk about what this all means for you. If Google is forced to sell Chrome or Android, you might notice a few things. Privacy and security concerns. Without Google's deep pockets, Chrome and Android might struggle to maintain the same level of security. Imagine more bugs and slower updates. Yikes. App compatibility. Developers might face headaches adapting their apps to work seamlessly on a post-Google Android. For smaller competitors, this could be a golden opportunity. Companies like DuckDuckGo or smaller browser developers could finally get a fair shot at competing. But for developers who rely on Google's tools, it might feel like the rug's being pulled out from under them. And let's not forget the public sentiment. Advocacy groups like Break Up Big Tech have been rallying for years to see companies like Google face consequences. Public opinion polls suggest many people want tougher regulations on tech giants, but opinions are split on whether breaking them up is the right move. Broader context in tech regulation. This case isn't happening in isolation. Google's fight with the DOJ is just one chapter in a larger saga of big tech regulation. Apple, Amazon, Meta, they're all feeling the heat from governments worldwide. Remember Apple's App Store antitrust investigations, or the scrutiny Amazon faces for allegedly favoring its own products. These cases show a clear trend. Regulators are no longer content to let big tech call all the shots. The outcome of this case could set a precedent for future battles. If the DOJ succeeds, it could embolden regulators to take on other tech giants with even more aggressive tactics. Alternative scenarios. But what if the DOJ loses? If Google comes out on top, it's not exactly a green light for them to continue business as usual. Public scrutiny would remain high, and they'd likely face new challenges from competitors and activists. Plus, a DOJ loss could force regulators to rethink their approach, potentially leading to new legislation targeting big tech. So whether Google wins or loses, the ripple effects will be felt far and wide. All right, let's wrap this up. The DOJ's case against Google is about more than just Chrome and Android. It's a battle for the future of tech regulation. Whether you're a fan of Google or not, this case will shape how we use technology for years to come. So now I turn the mic to you. Should Google be forced to sell Chrome and Android? Would this really help competition, or are there better ways to rein in big tech? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I can't wait to hear what you think. And before you go, don't forget to like, subscribe, and check out my recent video about Adobe's downfall from creative powerhouse to public villain #1. See you in the next one.